And I'm Dave Owens, your garden guy. Hey guys, we're at St. Vincent de Paul. It's right over here. But in the shadows of St. Vincent de Paul, well, we've got a nice looking garden. In fact, I'm with Todd. And Todd, you want to explain a little bit about what we're doing here right now?
Well, today we're actually highlighting our urban garden that we have here at St. Vincent de Paul. We have about 2 acres here, and what this really does allows us the opportunity to harvest to help offset some of the costs that we have at St. Vincent de Paul because our demand is so high.
And you got a lot of vegetables growing right here. How much are you producing right now?
That's not a question I can answer. I'm going to let somebody else answer that who has much more information about the actual yield and the harvest.
Okay, let's go on over to Dave. He can probably answer some of this. Dave, what are we doing here today?
Well, we have come to the conclusion that as a nonprofit providing 5 million pounds of non-perishable food and 4,200 prepared meals a day through 5 dining rooms, that if we're going to upgrade the quality of what we provide, we need to grow some of our own fresh, wholesome, local vegetables and fruits and provide them as part of the mix.
And you were saying earlier, a lot of the grocery stores and a lot of the, well, food producers in general are getting so efficient, it's harder and harder to get fresh produce, isn't it?
Well, yes, you know, that's good business for these companies to get more efficient, but then the stress on us to get donations goes up and up and up because the demand with low income and homeless people is just continues to go up.
Well, I want to show you another concept over here. I'm with Tony, and Tony he's the urban farm manager here. Explain to me a little bit of how you actually farm out here and what you do to produce all this wonderful produce.
Well, we're doing a lot of permaculture techniques, mulching, all natural and organic gardening. Another thing we're really doing here is composting, and part of our composting operation is this guy right here. We work with a company called Kaleidoscope Juice. We take about 3,000 pounds of food waste from them weekly, and then these guys go ahead and help us with the process by scratching it in, eating it, and then adding their own little source of nitrogen.
So they're kind of the compost workers. You can see the compost over there, and folks, I can tell you, compost is probably one of the most important ingredients out here in gardening in the desert Southwest. We don't nearly have enough organic material in the soil, so it's really a problem. So a lot of times when you're out there, you want to go ahead and first start off, well, composting. Now, folks, when we get back, I want to show you another concept here, and this is called what we call a aquaculture type system, and this is a floating type garden. Involves a lot of fish, and these fish basically are involved in fertilizing and basically processing a lot of this food. So when we get back, we're going to talk a bit about how these fish are involved in growing all this great produce. But last but not least, I want to introduce a very special guest, my daughter, Carrie Ann, who's very involved in St. Vincent de Paul. So, folks, I just want to introduce you to this is Carrie Ann, and we'll be back right after this. Hey, guys, take a look at these gardens out here. These are all St. Vincent de Paul's gardens. They're trying to get as independent as possible by growing their own produce out here. Lots of great stuff. Lots of kale out here, bright light Swiss chard. You can see the citrus trees, outdoor varieties, some hollyhock, and, of course, lots of cabbage. And I'm with Todd, and Todd, you're with St. Vincent de Paul. Exactly what are you trying to do out here?
Actually, we're trying to create an urban farm here, give an opportunity for us to basically augment our own produce that we have that we purchase. We also need to try to grow our own so we can supplement our dining rooms. We serve 4,500 meals per day, and as you can imagine, that the cost to serve 4,500 meals a day is a lot. So this helps us offset those costs and allows us a very amazing opportunity to keep our gardens fresh and flourishing and providing produce for our dining rooms.
Perfect. And to help out with that, well, we want to talk about an important concept out here. And this young man right here kind of helped put this all together. Jason, you put together an aquaponics system, and you can see it right over my shoulder. Take a look at this. Jason, explain to us what we're looking at here.
So what you're looking at here is the aquaponics system that we put together and developed, and you see the tanks in back, straight in back. There we house our fish, and we have about 1,200 tilapia. And what we're doing is we stock the fish with tilapia, we feed those fish, then we process those waste streams through a filter, and then we feed this to the hydroponic vegetables and the floats here that you see on the side. We're just starting our planning now. We've needed to let the system cure, build up the nitrogen. And if you look down here, you can see some of the baby fish that we're using. So we got them in.
And we're looking at some tilapia here, aren't we?
Yeah, so these are baby tilapia. They're a couple months old. It'll take about 12 to 14 months to get them to market size. A good market size for the tilapia is about 2 pounds. At that point, you can get 2 nice fillets off of that.
Okay, so what we're doing here, and I want to just explain, the fish are in the tanks right up here. The fish waste basically fertilizes all these different floats, and you can see these right in here, and the ultimate result is right over here. And real fast, we've got about 30 seconds left. You can see all the different types of vegetables. Well, what are we looking at here?
Here you could see some red romaine lettuce right here, the purple pak choys, the red leaf lettuces. We have some tatsoys, some basils. We were experimenting with some plants to see what's going to thrive best in these systems. A lot of those vegetative crops do very well with the nutrient mixes we use. You essentially feed your fish daily, and then you add some supplements that are micronutrients that you need over time.
Okay, so there you go. And Todd was telling me earlier that you actually feed about a family of 4 in a situation like this, and about $20,000 to $30,000 to look at something like this. But kind of an interesting concept. It's kind of the cycle of life. April, I don't know if you're thinking about growing some fish, but I'll tell you, this is another option to growing great gardens out here in the desert Southwest and doing it fairly easy.